Hi everyone, thank you for joining us on this fun and festive Thursday. Today's webinar is going to be about how Nebraska Tourism can help you. And I know the industry knows all of us here at Nebraska Tourism, but really we want to kind of walk you through what we do and how we can be a resource to you, especially as we're coming close to 2020 and looking ahead to next year, some of the events you have going on, some of the tours that are coming to Nebraska. We definitely want you to know how we can help you with those things. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. And if you have any questions at all, you can email them to callie.osted@nebraska.gov. Those will be answered at the end of our presentation here. But of course, you can certainly send those in throughout the webinar as they come up. With me, I have a lot of my team members and my friends here just to kind of show you what we all do and how we have our own unique roles and what we can do for you. So just to get started, I'll go ahead and talk about myself a little bit here as your webinar host. You see me just about every month in these here. And so I'll give you a little bit of background about what I do. I'm the Commission's Industry Relations and Education Coordinator. So my primary responsibility is actually planning the tourism conference. So a lot of what I do is picking out the content, putting together the planning committee, making sure every industry is represented, and that everyone can kind of share their opinion on what they would like to gain from the event, what some of those speakers will look like, who we'll bring in, whether it's local or national speakers, some of the key messages that they would like to hear about. I work on recruiting sponsors, so making sure we have funding to be able to provide this type of event. I work on managing the budget to provide, the best meals possible, the best location possible, and hotel venue. And with that too, I work on producing the request for proposals for future conference host sites. So if anyone's interested in hosting the tourism conference, I would love to talk with them about that and how they can bring that event to their community. Next, I work producing monthly webinars, so figuring out through industry members what content they would like to see and the speakers they would like to hear from. I know just this last year we've definitely had a range, everything from marketing and producing videos to industry updates and lodging tax. So really getting an idea from you all what you would like and bringing that to the stage here. Another thing that I'm working on doing this year is to create a mentorship program with state universities. So working with young industry professionals to connect them with the assets and career opportunities that exist within Nebraska, really showing students how they can have a career within tourism, what that may look like for them and how they can be successful. That's something I'm really passionate about, being a recent college graduate myself, going through UNL's hospitality program. I know a lot of students believe that they can't have a successful tourism career in the Midwest, so I'm definitely working to change that perception here. All of the events during National Travel and Tourism Week, I help plan those and put those together with my team. And just another bullet point I do want to talk about is working to build relationships with industry members across the state and promoting regional collaboration, which is incredibly important for us as we move forward, making sure everyone's engaged, attending our events, and really helping build one another up and learning from each other. And just like a fun fact about myself here, I am a huge live music concert junkie. Just like since I was a kid, I've always gone to concerts and music festivals. And so one of my favorite vacations was camping out at Bonnaroo for 3 days with my family and my good friends. And that's something I really, really love to get and to do every time I can. And next here, I'm going to go ahead and introduce John. He wasn't able to join us this afternoon because he has a lot going on, especially with ABA coming up. But John is our director at the commission, and John, he oversees everything. So he kind of gives us the direction, points us where to go, and leads the pack, our big idea man. He directs the state's marketing campaign, budget, and strategies. So he works really closely with our partners, such as Miles, Turner, and Vladimir Jones. They all kind of have that great relationship where they can give us the feedback that we need, and John will steer the ship with that. So he really kind of guides us based on what our state's needs are. And a fun fact about John, he's been to 50 plus countries and at the summit of Kilimanjaro, and he has talked about that being one of the coolest places that he's ever been, which is really neat to see his experiences and passion come here, and his love for travel, and his background in advertising to help us with the state and our new fun campaign, which is all really great. Next, I'm going to introduce Jenna. She's going to come up and share a little bit about her role as the Adventure Travel Specialist. So welcome.
Thank you, Callie. So, Michael.
It's just like a fun fact.
Oh yeah. I've now been working for the commission for a little over a year, and as well as having recently moved to Nebraska about that same time. So I've been in this position about as long as I've lived in Nebraska. I've really enjoyed learning about the state, working with this great group of colleagues, and kind of getting my bearings as far as what I'd like to do, to help kind of broaden the state's horizons as far as our nature-based assets. So my position as Adventure Travel Specialist is to focus on the state's natural resources and how we can kind of sustainably develop and or promote those as tourism draws. A lot of people like to say that there's nothing to do in Nebraska. Having been here a year now, I would strongly disagree with that. We have a lot of really neat things. I think a lot of this perception is starting to change, and hopefully some of my projects that I've been working on can help to change that. One of which is establishing an international dark sky park here in the state of Nebraska. So I'm currently working with Game and Parks and Merritt Trading Post at Merritt Reservoir to designate that as an internationally accredited dark sky site. That is hopefully going to elevate us as a place to come and see and enjoy the night sky. But I think once people get here, they'll see that there's all these other really neat things that are here to enjoy in nature. And up by Merritt, there's the Niobrara River, which is gorgeous, which is a national scenic river. Toadstool National Park in the far northeast is like an alien-like place. So there's lots of really neat things that we've got. So part of my job is helping to develop those and kind of promote those in our state. I do work with communities and businesses to better promote their existing assets. So if folks ever are looking to do something different or do something better with their existing ecotourism operation, I am happy to help. I'd love to become more heavily involved in some of the business development side of my position. So I'm kind of eager to get some bites for that and dive into helping folks with that. And I also co-organize the annual Agritourism and Adventure Travel Workshop, which was formerly known as the Agritourism and Ecotourism Workshop. We have recently changed that name. We think it's more encompassing of kind of what that workshop offers, and it's a super fun workshop. So my plug will be that that's going to be in February 25th through the 27th of 2020. So we hope that you we'll have a whole webinar about it, I guess. So you can learn more by tuning in then. My fun fact is that I once lost both of my big toenails on a 3-night, 4-day backpacking trip in Grand Canyon, It was excruciatingly painful. My shoes were broken in, but you know, I had been wearing them maybe for 3 months, but then you do a 4-day backpack, and that you can really easily find that shoes that you thought were broken in were in fact not broken in, because my toenails swelled up. It was really gross. It was really painful. So I ended up having to perform surgery on my shoes. Like, it was honestly after the first night, I was like, I can't walk in these shoes. I have this really nice big knife that I carry backpacking with me, and I just used that to cut out the toe of my hiking shoes. A little, you know, a little ingenuity, a little on the fly, you know, surgery needed, and I was able to hike the rest of the way and not be in so much pain. But on the day that I hiked out, one of the toenails actually did completely come off, so that was really fun. And I think next we have Karen. Karen is kind of my counterpart as far as consulting goes. She specializes more in agritourism. So we have such potential in the state of Nebraska to, you know, really expand our agritourism opportunities, because we are the breadbasket of America. So I think that agritourism is a really great opportunity to share, you know, stories about where our food comes from, and in a way that, you know, really kind of changes people's perceptions, and oftentimes negative perceptions about what that might be like. So Karen is a seasoned veteran. She's been working for Nebraska Tourism for over 15 years now, 16 years. So she really, you know, has a great understanding of the state, of its assets, and of agritourism in general. She also helps me co-organize the, or I should say I help her organize the agritourism and adventure travel workshop. So that's always a really fun event that we get to put on, and often we're kind of, in recent years have been, the workshop's been evolving, and now one of the really fun features is that we will do bus tours, and oftentimes we'll take you know, the attendees of the workshop around to different regional areas that have ecotourism or agritourism offerings. Last year in Ord, you know, we went to some ranches that were guest ranches, and this next year in February, we're going to go to a couple fun and exciting things, which we'll talk about in the next webinar, so I won't spoil it. And then she is the contact person for the National Western Stock Show and Husker Harvest Days. She kind of works with the industry and travels a lot. She's based out of Kearney, so she's kind of our point person for the western, you know, side of the state, although we all do try and get out to the western end of the state and all of its natural beauty as much as we can as well. Fun fact, Karen is a Nebraska native. She grew up on a farm in northeast Nebraska, and she is number 6 of 7 children in her family, and she has 3 wonderful children of her own, and I think 5 grandbabies, which she spends as much time with as she can. So that's Karen. And here we have Michael Collins.
The office celebrity.
More like that.
Yes, there's Michael in his bougie picture. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michael Collins. I've been at the commission since 2000, so I'm one of the older ones that have been here. So I've been around the block a few times, but I've done quite a few jobs in the Tourism Commission division at the time when I first started. Over the years, so the main things I do now, I'm the group travel manager for the Tourism Commission. So I promote Nebraska to national and international tour operators to encourage them to offer the state on their itineraries for whenever they want to create itineraries into Nebraska. Develop a group profile sheet to give operators at group tour conventions, kind of promote the state again with some of the different group things that we do. Work with develop planners and offer sample itineraries to operators. So on our website, visitnebraska.com/group_travel or something like that on our website. There's a lot of different sample itineraries on there, but I think about 9 sample itineraries. They go across the state. One I'm really kind of promoting, I'm going to start promoting this year, is one called Buffett Birds and Beef, and it kind of takes existing tours that Jessica did in Omaha and that they do in Grand Island and Kearney around the crane migration, and then in North Platte, Amanda with her beef tour, and it kind of highlights 3 different things that are known, that Nebraska is known for. Obviously, Warren Buffett, and then the Santa Crane migration, and then we're also known as a beef state. So I took these 3 different things and just put them on and put them into a single itinerary. Looking at another itinerary, I'm also going to be promoting really this year. I love bees, so now this one is called Bison, Bones, and Books. Yes. Thanks, but that follows the Fossil Freeway in western Nebraska on Highway 71. And it, in Kimball, that's where the bison come in. You can hand feed bison, and then you go on up to Scottsdale National Monument for Old West history and bones and all that stuff, and agate fossil beds. I go up there, and then the book section of part of this is Mary Sandoz in Shadron. So that kind of follows the western Highway 71. Because what I'm trying to do is, with operators coming from Denver to Rapid City area, instead of having them go up 85 in Wyoming, have them come over on Highway 71 and go up that's on our side of the state line along the Fossil Freeway. So I'm really promoting the sample itineraries that we have. So if you have any ideas, just definitely throw them my way. Also, we create and host 3 FAM tours in Nebraska each year, and that's one thing we really try to work on. Is we've not done FAM tours ever, or we did a very long time ago a handful. But we do 3 FAM tours every year. Do a crane migration. One starts in Omaha, goes out to Kearney, Grand Island area. Then we have another one that starts in North Platte because of the Scottsdale National Monument up to Shadron. Going to include Kimball on that one. Ogallala kind of follows the western migration. That one's called Buffalo Bills, Rails, and Trails West. The crane migration one is called Omaha to the Central Nebraska Flyway. And then I have a Eastern tour, which was just a Northeast Nebraska tour. It's called Uniquely Northeast Nebraska. Expanded that to include some stops in Lincoln, so it's the whole eastern part of the state. So those take place in May and March. Obviously, the crane takes place in March, and then the other tour the Western tour takes place in March or April, and then the Eastern one I think is in August sometime. So yeah, we do offer those tours every year to operators, and I limit them to 10 operators because I want to make sure that we have lots of time with the operators to kind of promote the state, to show what we have, but also I don't want to really impact budgets a lot. Because I know it's a pay-to-play pretty much, where we can work with transportation, cover that, and then like the local communities will do lodging, meals, all those things. That's their part. So I don't want to burden people's budget. So I keep those to 10. Also, if you keep things low and say, hey, oh my gosh, it's limited to 9 or 10, then people are like, oh my gosh, I have to go on that now. So it kind of builds excitement a little bit for it. So so that's what we do with groups. So if you're looking at any group tour itineraries, anything you want to do group-wise, let me know. I'll be glad to come out and sit down with you. The group tour market is different than the leisure market, the average travel market, because groups want to feel like VIPs and feel special. So we've got to make them do that. So like I said, if you want any help with groups, let me know. I also oversee the travel counselor program. I hire and oversee 30+ travel counselors each travel season from mid-May to right after Labor Day each year. And their job is to promote the state to the traveling public. And it's been a really popular program. It's been around for like 30+ years. Been a really popular program, and it's still going strong. We're looking at adding a couple places. We have a few changes within the ones that we're doing. Maybe looking at doing Sioux City, doing when we used to staff in Sioux City, staffing that one again as Sergeant Floyd, and also looking at maybe Julesburg, Colorado, maybe looking at the option for that too. So always look at new ways to improve the program. And as you can see my picture here with my lovely sunglasses on, so I'm just super cool that way, I guess. And my fun fact is I really have my own royal family at my house. Seamus is one of my cats. He's the king. and Stella is the queen, and Sasha is the princess, and Charlie's the prince, or the price, and this Charlie's the price in this right here. Yeah. So, who wrote that? Was it? So it's Sasha is my dog, and Charlie's my dog, so they're the prince and the princess. And pretty much what am I? I'm basically the serf or Cinderella, depending on whatever day it is. Pretty much I pick up cat and dog poo pretty much every day. So anyway, if you need help with groups or travel council program or anything like that, I'm here to help you. I can come to your community, can sit down with you. My phone's always on. I'm always available, so just come on down. Now, am I doing another one here? All right. Oh.
Just use the arrow
All you
buttons.
have to do is press the space bar.
Oh my gosh, I'm old. Okay, boomer. There we go. All right. So Heather Hogue, she's also been as long as I have, and you can see that's her foot right there apparently, or her toe. She does have her big toes, so her big toenails. So, but what she is, she's nicknamed the agency Peacekeeper. Really, that's on a business card, and yes, she is the peacekeeper. She keeps us all sane, especially me. She's dealt with me for 20 years, so she knows how to keep me sane. But one of her biggest things is she's also the deputy director for the agency, and she's been doing that for a number of years now. Since we became our own commission in 2012, she's been the deputy director and doing a great job with that. She administers the commission's grant program, funding assistance opportunities that encourage Nebraska communities to work together to promote their destinations and events. So if you want money to promote your stuff, she's the one that you call. And she also manages administrative and program operations for the commission in relation to state government policies, supervises the internship program, and performs program support for the agency director. So she does a lot too. So, and her fun fact is her favorite is puppy breath. It is really, she loves puppy breath. It's the best thing in the universe. If she could get candles and deodorant and gum and everything else, the smell of puppy breath, she'd buy it. So, but yeah, with Heather, if you need marketing grants, definitely call her. Any questions you have with funding, with money, she'd be glad to help you and answer with that. I'm not doing Jen Jurdy's. The lovely Erin can come and do Jen Jurdy's. I'll wait till you're up to,
Thank you.
Yes. I'll stand here and wait till you're.
I was gonna just boot you out over on
You
the side.
would too.
Okay, so I'm Erin Lenz, but I'm going to introduce Jen Jurdy. So I'll kind of talk about our whole marketing team at the commission. Jen Jurdy is our marketing manager, and she's currently on maternity leave right now with her cute little baby Ruby, which we all got to see today. She was all dressed up for Christmas. But yeah, she will be back at the beginning of January, so if you have any questions for Jen, you can either ask them to me instead or wait until she gets back in January. But like I said, Jen is the marketing manager, and she oversees the development of anything marketing related, also public relations related, and any of our advertising strategies. So she kind of works really closely with John and me on those as well. And then she also develops seasonal marketing plans. She coordinates kind of any of the creative or anything that we're developing in the marketing realm to kind of market the state to people from out of state. And she also tracks the marketing budget, and then she also reports campaign goals and metrics. So she really keeps track of kind of how our marketing is doing, and kind of works with everybody in the state on different sales promotions too as well. So that could be anything from travel guide to website to just keeping John in line as well on marketing as well too. So she kind of handles pretty much everything marketing related. And a fun fact about her is Jen was the first ever morning anchor for North Platte TV station KNOP. So yeah, that's just a little bit about Jen. And then to me, so I'm the public information officer at Nebraska Tourism. So I work really closely with Jen. So while Jen handles more of the marketing side of our marketing team, I handle more of the public relations side, but we work super closely together on pretty much everything. But I work a lot with travel writers and with our PR agency that we work with, which is Turner. And we work a lot to secure meaningful media coverage of Nebraska, and we do that through proactive pitching, so reaching out to journalists and pitching them story ideas, as well as bringing really high-quality journalists on media tours to kind of show them what this state has to offer and kind of the fun things that they can write about. So we come up with new story ideas, so any information you have on things that are new in your area, things that are upcoming, like anniversaries, for whether that's events, anniversaries for attractions, like I know in 2021 it's the 100th anniversary of state parks. Any of that type of information is always super, super helpful because journalists are always more likely to write stories about Nebraska when there's something big happening like events or if it's something that's new. Anything that kind of makes it a hot topic for a story. So that makes it a little easier for us to when we're pitching story ideas. But that's kind of what we do a lot on the PR side. And on top of that, we also keep the industry I keep the industry informed through our industry email list. So all of those emails that you get, I think I even sent out like 2 today already, but all of those emails that you get from the Nebraska tourism industry, those come from me. So if you ever have any information that you think the entire industry needs to know, or if there's information that, if there's people in your office that aren't getting those emails, or you know of people in your community that you think need to be getting information about the Nebraska tourism industry, please let me know. I'm happy to add you to that email list so that you can be informed too. So the things we send out on that list is we do our monthly e-newsletters. We send out information about like the grant program, passport program, really anything that we're doing, conferences coming up, workshops, webinars, all of our webinar topics. So any of that information that you think people need to know, please let me know. I also work with our interns in general, but also our social media intern to create and post content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. And then I also send out press releases and I appear on TV to talk about Nebraska and the Nebraska tourism industry. And then I maintain visitnebraska.com. So this is a big part of my job, especially since in March we just completely redid the website. But I help create web content along with the interns and Jen. We create a lot of new web content to go on visitnebraska.com. And then we also help industry members update their destination listings and their events. So if you don't have a listing on our website, you don't know how to edit the listing that is currently on the website for you, or you want to add events to the website, I'm the person that you would come to talk about that. And then I also work on keeping other site pages up to date. So if you are ever scrolling through the website and you notice, like I think Carney recently emailed me about a list of hotels that are like out of business that were on the website. All that information is super helpful because it's really hard for all of us to keep track of everything that's closed, opened, etc. So anytime you're scrolling around on the website and you notice something that should be taken off, I'm that person that you would talk to about that. So we appreciate any of that information as well. And then fun fact about me is when I was in college, I was the public relations intern from 2015 to 2017. So, fun fact. So I'm also going to talk about the interns. So we have Emerson is they're both, I think they're both considered communications interns. But Emerson really focuses more on the writing aspect out of the 2 of the interns that we have. So she writes our monthly industry newsletters. She helps me write press releases. She writes the e-newsletters that go out to, I think we have like a list of 30,000 plus people. And then she also helps write a lot of website content. She's a great writer. But she also works directly with industry members to add their businesses and events to visitnebraska.com. So chances are if you've emailed us about wanting to be on visitnebraska.com, Emerson is the person you have talked to. And if you reach out to pretty much anybody on our team about how to edit something on visitnebraska.com, we typically send you to Emerson. So she's kind of our website go-to person. She also helps promote all the special things that the state has to offer and inspires others to explore Nebraska. And a fun fact about Emerson is she's an only child from Columbus. She's currently majoring in advertising and public relations at UNL with her minors in psychology and communication studies. And she loves to spend her summers playing golf at different courses across Nebraska. And then we have our other intern, Bobby. So Bobby is more of our social media intern. So he handles all of the day-to-day interactions through Nebraska Tourism social media accounts. So he's constantly finding pictures to share on Instagram. He's the one that's commenting and liking all of the comments that we have on our posts throughout Facebook, Twitter. He's just constantly monitoring those social media accounts. And then he is writing content about all those various topics as well. So if you ever have an event that you want shared on social media, just an attraction in general, if you just have some fun information that you think would fit well on visitnebraska.com, Bobby is the person to talk to about that. We post twice a day on Facebook and Twitter, and then a few times a week on Instagram, so we're always looking for additional content. And we share things on our website, Facebook events that we see, any third-party content from like bloggers, writers. That's kind of the content that we're sharing on our social media. So Bobby's always looking for extra information, so he's the person to reach out to if you ever have social media ideas. And he also works to engage a younger audience and encourages them to explore parts of the state. So fun fact about Bobby is Bobby lived in England briefly when he was young, as his dad was in the Air Force and stationed near Cambridge. Yeah, so that is Bobby, and that's kind of our marketing team in the office. So next we have Madison.
Hello everyone. I am Madison Johnson. I'm new to that last name as I got married last month, so all my email information is still my maiden name of Schlake, but soon it will be changed over to Johnson. We'll just see when that happens. It takes a little bit. But I am the passport program coordinator, so I'm kind of the go-to girl when it comes to anything revolving around the Nebraska passport. So I plan and strategize for the coming years of the program. So I'm not only planning for this year's program, but maybe the coming years. It never kind of ceases to amaze me, the different ideas that people have and they bring to me, and then I'm just like, oh, that would be really awesome for, you know, like for example, the 100th anniversary of the state park system. We might do something kind of fun next year for that. I don't know, it'll be a surprise. And I also answer any questions from participants, stops, or anyone who is just curious. Kind of a good portion of my job, especially when the program is up and running, is answering phone calls and emails from people who have various questions regarding prizes, different experiences at stops, becoming a stop, what the program even is, general things like that. And then I travel a lot too, so this whole summer I visited all 70 of the locations. And I really love to go into businesses and meet people, as well as meet the different community members that can help me get the right kind of stops on the program. So I know I talk to a lot of CVBs and chambers across the state, try to get them to encourage different businesses in their communities to apply for the program, because it is hard for us to keep our tabs on all of the new upcoming businesses or even businesses that have never heard of the program before, and get them to apply so that the program is always fresh and continue to grow, because that's something I'm really passionate about. That's been the last few weeks of my life, because the application for the Nebraska Passport for 2020 is open right now, and it closes at the end of the year, so December 31st. So there's about a week and a half, I think, left for people to apply. So if anybody has any questions or wants to apply, it's on the Nebraska Passport website, which is nebraskapassport.com. Or you can email me at madison.schlake@nebraska.gov. And then the other thing I do is I do promote the program through outreach and networking. So I do things like during the summer, I do a lot of the television interviews in place of Aaron, talk about the Nebraska Passport program. I bring guests on with me. I do a lot of presentations around different communities, so things like retirement homes, businesses in different parts of the state, a lot of things like I did a big presentation all day long at the Columbus Central Community College staff in-service a few months ago, and I did one out in Scottsbluff at their at the Art Center out there, and so I'm kind of all over the place doing presentations to try to promote the program and grow interest in it. And my fun fact is I am from Fairbury, Nebraska, and I grew up showing beef cattle my whole life, so I still do that every once in a while. My dad is really loves when I get to go down to the stock show and show still, or the American Royal in Casey or something like that. But also that's a photo of me with an alligator when I was in New Orleans this summer. So, and then next we have Callie. She's going to come and talk about Alicia.
I'm going to talk about Alicia. She wasn't able to join us today, but Alicia is our accountess, or so that's what it says on her business card. She is our go-to person for any and all questions regarding our budget. So she manages that. She keeps it in check for us. So she handles all of our invoices, and that goes out either to our partners our commissioners, our speakers, and even to the staff. So she is a good one to talk to if we have questions regarding numbers or our budgets and how to manage that. And a fun fact about Alicia is that she originally planned to go play college volleyball, but ended up playing basketball instead. She loves sports. Her kiddos are in sports, so she's definitely keeps us updated on that, which is awesome. And then last but not at all least, we have Shirley. And Shirley is the mama bear of the office, so she helps with anything and everything, which is so awesome. She is pretty much the face of the commission, especially if when you first walk in, you get to see her smile and talk to her, which is just so wonderful. But she has definitely been very helpful to me, and I know Jenna and Karen as well with registration. So she handles all of that for us. So either sending in checks or calling with questions about that, Shirley is always right on top of it. She follows bills and hearings related to the tourism industry during the legislative season, so she can help us with any questions we have, or even industry members who call with specific questions. She can help explain things and just kind of talk through that process. She provides assistance and sends out information to visitors that call or walk into the office. I know, especially as people are driving through the state, they'll call Shirley with just some really bizarre random questions like, where can we tour a feedlot? And she'll figure that out for them. She'll get them the right contacts and make that possible because she wants everyone to have the best experience here in our state. Shirley is also responsible for tracking lodging tax numbers and sending that out to the industry. She oversees inventory tracking on our promotional merchandise and sets up meeting for John and really anybody in our office who needs that, and then provides support for fam tours. I know with ABA coming up, Shirley has been a great help with Michael, just calling tour operators and making sure everyone's taken care of. And a fun fact about Shirley, her and her husband Willie, they have traveled to all the lower 48 states on their motorcycle, and they have been to the other 2 states, but not by riding there. They've flown there. It'd be hard to ride your motorcycle to Hawaii, but so that's Shirley. And again, if you guys have any questions at all, please email those to us. We want to wish you guys a happy holiday season. And I do just want to put on the record that this was an ugly sweater day. I don't typically just wear this Santa sweater, just so people know that. But yeah, this is a picture from our staff earlier this afternoon, and it's a great team to work for, and I'm really happy to be a part of them, and really all of their efforts here. So if anyone does have any questions, just remember to shoot them to callie.osted@nebraska.gov. Even if they're not questions specifically for today, I do want to encourage people to send different topics they would like to see as in webinars for 2020. So as we're looking ahead to next year, certainly get that to me because I'd love to know your thoughts and bringing in more content that you would like. And before we do answer today's questions, please take a minute afterwards to submit the survey because we love to know your feedback. And with that, I will ask Madison if she can read some of the questions we've gotten.
Yes. So we had one question that said, where can I get everybody's contact information?
So that is on our website. If you go to visitnebraska.com and click on our industry page, you will see everyone's contact information with our names, our email addresses, and phone numbers.
And then how can I get my event promoted in the email newsletters?
Through Erin, if you want to answer.
I can answer that if you want me to. So all of the events that we promote through our e-newsletters are events that were posted on visitnebraska.com. So if you have a video or if you have an event that you posted on visitnebraska.com, it's much more likely to get in the email newsletter. So if you have any questions on how to get that event on visitnebraska.com, you can email me.
Wonderful.
We have 2 more. What is changed about the Ag Eco workshop? And that's for you, Jenna.
Yeah. So like I said, we have changed our name recently. So instead of being the agritourism and ecotourism workshop, we are now the agritourism and adventure travel workshop. We feel that kind of is a larger umbrella and kind of makes people feel more included, and like not a lot of people may associate themselves as an ecotourism destination. So adventure travel is a little bit more broad. So we have changed the name, and just a little bit about the workshop is that it's kind of geared toward people that are active in their in either agritourism or adventure travel or ecotourism businesses. So tourism businesses within the state. Or entrepreneurs that are looking for creative ways to maybe start a business or diversify, away from their existing business into something that includes tourism. So it's a really good workshop for folks, kind of at any point during the process. We try and get really good content that kind of speaks to people, whether they're just starting out or are kind of veterans and looking for new ideas and emerging trends in the travel industry. So it's a really neat little workshop. It's a lot of fun to put on, and I think the value is also great. It's we try and make it very affordable. So the price for the 3-day workshop is only $100. So we're going to try and keep it at that price for as long as we can keep it at that price while still offering the best that we can. So we hope that you'll come join us this February 25th through the 27th in Nebraska City. And it sounds like we've got a whole webinar coming to you next month all about the workshop. So we'll talk more then.
All right, and then Michael, what can I do to get into the group tour market?
Does that sit here or do I go up there?
No, you can
Okay. What was the question again?
What can I do to get into the group tour market?
Just call me. Just let me know what you want to do, because there are a lot of times with groups that, like I said, the group travel market is different than the leisure travel market. For example, I could go take a tour of a museum, like Johnson Art Museum, for example. I can take a tour of that. But if I bring a group there, I want to be able to go there and I want to look at a painting, and I want to have an artist there and kind of explain the painting to me, and I want to be able to sit there and draw the painting myself and have somebody come in and take it with me. I want to have my little artist chair, my little artist easel, my little art, and go out and do these experiences. That's the thing with groups, you have to do experiences. So if you're looking to get in the group tour market, just give me a call. We can sit down and brainstorm ideas of what operators are looking for, because again, they're looking for experiences, fun things to do, VIP treatment, they want to feel special, and that's stuff that we definitely can help you with. So, even if we can't do, like there are times if it's like a county historic museum for something, might not necessarily have that on a group tour itinerary as a destination, but we could have a meal there and have people come into each of you have a dinner in each room, have tables in each room, and someone could be in that room in costume and serving food. So you took you took an attraction and made it to a venue. So there are different ways, different things that we can do with groups. So just with ABA coming, it's American Bus Association. I'll plug for that really quickly. That is coming next month in January into Omaha, the 11th to the 14th, and that's the biggest group tour association market in the country, and operators all over the U.S. and Canada will be coming to that. It's going to be a huge dang deal. We have 4 different FAM tours in Nebraska. They're coming for that. So, and then Select Traveler, used to be Bank Travel, they're coming to their conference in Cheyenne. They're doing their FAM tour for U.S. tours. It's going to be in Western Nebraska. Then, like I said, we have our FAM tours that we do. So, group tour wise, we're getting on the market, on the radar of some of these operators. We do have a ways to go compared to other states, but I think that people are really, really wanting to get into groups right now, and they're kind of waking up to the economic potential of it, because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry for the state and for the country. So, I'll come down, sit down with you. We'll just sit there and talk and discuss stuff and come up with some great group tour itineraries for you. So just give me a call.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all again, and I hope you took away a lot of great information for this webinar, and I look forward to seeing you in 2020.